3, 2, 1, go.
Yay.
That countdown comes so quickly, doesn't it? Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK.
And my name is Louise Golding from Clarity Crafts in the UK as well.
Welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. I hope everybody's well. It's certainly warmed up out there this afternoon, hasn't it, compared to what it was this morning. So I'm sure we might be a little bit quieter this afternoon.
Everybody's in the garden.
Yeah, definitely. The lovely Jane will be in the room with you this afternoon. So if you have any questions, she's there to help. And if she's not sure, or if I'm not sure about something, she will feed me the answer. So we had a great first show this morning, didn't we?
We did, yes.
So yeah, it's really good. And we've got a few different bits and pieces to tell you. So we'll just wait until I'm going to move. I'm always worried that I catch that mouth. So you click a button in the top right-hand corner that says go live. Okay. And then I always forget to move the mouse away from there because it's the same button that says end session.
Yeah. And that's what you taught me first about Groovi Tuesday. You said, whatever you do, do not leave the mouse over
the button. And what do I do? Just do it automatically. So yeah, so we've moved that out of the way so I don't accidentally end the stream, and because we would be oblivious to it, we'd just be carrying on until Jane
she's like, where have you gone? Come back.
So Jane has said she's here and the sound is good. Thank you,
lovely.
Jane.
Thanks, Jane.
Yeah, I definitely think it'll be a lot quieter this afternoon. But one of the beautiful things about our Clarity Social TV is that it doesn't matter if you can't tune in live because you can go back and watch it anytime.
Yes.
So if you go to the claritycraft.com website, there is a section called Catch Up and Craft. And you go there and you can see all of our previous Clarity Social TV episodes. If you go onto the Clarity Craft YouTube page, you can see all of them there as well. So you do have choices. And we do forgive you if you're out enjoying the sunshine.
Good bank holiday weekend's coming up.
While we're in a hot, sticky, stuffy office with the windows open, the fan on under
Fans
the desk. But yeah, we understand.
We do.
So just go through it. I've taken my shoes off as well. It does make a difference. I should have put shorts on this morning, but I didn't think it was going to be as warm as yesterday.
No, it seems to be a little bit cooler, but not by much.
Not much, no. So anyway, we digress. We've waffled about the weather enough. So just a little bit of housekeeping. There's several ways in which you can order. You can either order via our website, which is Clarity Crafts. Where is that not disappearing on the screen? There we go. claritycrafts.com, or during the week, Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. You can give the office a call on 01732 868 215. Obviously, we are closed this upcoming Bank Holiday Monday for telephones, but this Sunday is the first of the month.
God, it comes around so quickly, doesn't it?
It does indeed. So what does the first of the month normally mean, Louise?
Well, it means that you and Barb are in at between 3 and 5.
Between 3 and 5, absolutely. Yeah. And the lovely Sue will be in the office as well on Sunday to answer the phones and take any orders. And the phones will be open from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock on Sunday as well. So we're definitely here to keep you company, especially over the bank holiday weekend. Because even though it's bank holiday weekend, it is that first Sunday of the month that Barb's been doing for over 18 years.
Wow.
I know, that's mad, isn't it? Over 18 years, she said she's been doing it the first Sunday of every month.
Gosh.
So, I know. It doesn't bear thinking about, does it? So let me bring up some product details for you on the screen to see how it works. So this is our brand new collection. We launched officially at 10 a.m. this morning, but for you early birders, you did actually take advantage of it because it was a soft launch yesterday. It was released on our website at 5 o'clock, and you're definitely liking this.
Yeah.
So the item number is 42482. This is the Occasion Sentiments and Panels A4 and A5 square Groovi plate collection. You have your price there of £34.98. You have a £5 saving, which brings the price down to £29.98.
Yeah.
Now, if you belong to any of our craft clubs, you'll then receive an additional discount as well, whether it's 10, 12.5 or 15%. So if you're a Diamond Club member where you belong to the Stamp, Stencil and Groovi clubs, you'll get 15% off, and that brings the price down to £25.48.
Nice.
Now, the A4 plate is £24.99 on its own. So for an extra £1.50 thereabouts, you're going to get the smaller plate for free.
Oh, well, that's good.
So it's very good indeed.
Best offer to go for, isn't it?
It is. Louise did a lovely demo. She put it through its paces this morning during the 10 o'clock show, so you can always go back and watch that. Whenever we bring you Clarity Social TV, if we do specific sort of demonstrations, like a project like a card or a piece of art, then we often bring you the downloads as well, don't we?
Yes.
But we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail shortly. Because I know we've got a fair number of our friends in the room already.
Yeah.
They're probably sitting in the garden under an umbrella
with
the phone. But I also wanted to bring to your attention, you may recall at Easter, Easter weekend, we had a fantastic fresh cut die sale.
We did.
Where the vast catalogue of our fresh cut dies were available for everybody at £3 each.
Crazy, isn't it?
Okay.
£3.
Now, we had a few inquiries because some people said, oh, they're on holiday, they missed it, they'd gone away, they didn't realise it was on until it was over. So we decided, well, it's bank holiday again, then why not switch again? Some of the dies did sell out, but we've loaded the whole event again, and that went live at midnight last night. So the details on there. So you've got your selected fresh cuts for just £3 each. There's no club discounts on these, and it is backed by popular demand. And this will run until midnight on Tuesday the 6th, I believe. That is the correct date. Don't even know what. I know I keep thinking today's the 1st, but
yes,
it's not. It's the 2nd. So maybe if you missed out on some or you didn't know it was on, then now may be the perfect opportunity to stock up on your fresh cut stash. Ooh, that wasn't easy to say.
A tongue twister.
That's right. So let's have a look at the. I'm going to bring up the screen that will give us our full details of this brand new collection. So we can see here we've got the A5 square plate, which has got lovely panels on. And then we have the A4 plate. And we're going to look at this in a little bit more detail on the overhead. So if I swap this out, I'm going to go to that one there and that one there. And then Louise will talk us through this plate.
Okay. So we have, it's an A4 plate, and you have 6 different occasions. So you have the Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Congratulations, Thank You, Happy Anniversary, and Get Well Soon. And each of these is in 5 different fonts. And then underneath that, we've got some extra little sentences, little sentiments of just to change things up. So, for example, Merry Christmas. May your Christmas be merry and bright. From our house to yours, and a Happy New Year. Season's greetings and good wishes for the new year. Then Happy Birthday. We've got wishing you health and happiness. Hope you have the best day. Sending you love and hugs. You deserve the world and more. And then congratulations. We've got you did it. You're amazing. So proud of you on your special day. You're absolutely incredible. Thank you. We have for being you so much. Where would I be without you? For being a great friend, for everything you do. And happy anniversary to my best friend and soulmate, to my daughter and son-in-law, to the most amazing couple, wishing you many more years of happiness. And get well soon. We have relax, rest and recover. Sending you lots of love. Hope you make a speedy recovery, and hugs and kisses and get well wishes. So the good thing about this plate is you can mix and match. So for example, happy anniversary, you're absolutely incredible, or happy birthday on your special day. So you can really mix and match all of these sentiments. So they're really useful. Wouldn't you say?
I think, yeah, definitely. And then you've got the panel. So this is an A5 square. Everything is available individually. If you want the occasions plate, item number for that is 42440. And then if you want the panels, the item number for this is 42478. But the best way, if your budget allows, is to go for the complete collection. And I think it's going to be one of those ones that you're going to go to again and again and again.
Definitely,
because
yes.
I think it's lovely. We have these available in stamps as well. So if you search for occasion sentiments on the website, you'll also find the stamps. The stamps are in A6 stamp sets, and then there's an A5 square stamp set with the actual panels in. With the stamp version of the panels, you can only take them as they come. And as Louise showed us this morning during the 10 o'clock show, you can extend these panels, you can shorten the panels, you can use the decorative elements on the panels as well. So I thought what we'll do is just have a very quick look at some artwork. We had a look at a lot more detail this morning, didn't we?
We did,
but
yes.
I know time is always against us. So we've got this piece of lovely artwork from Carol Baker. Okay, then the next one is from Karen Jackson. So there we go. And then we have another one from Carol Baker. So it's just using the panels, a happy birthday. So because many of you already have some of these design plates at home, it is that finishing touch, isn't it? I really like this one. This is from Glynis. So she's used our printed Pergamano parchment poppets to top and tail. And then just some little decorative elements on there as well. We've got this one from Jill Askham, and Jill's just taken the borders just to fill in the background.
Such a clever idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using the panels as a background.
This is one of mine and Louise's favourites from Josie Davidson. There we go. So Josie's used this happy anniversary sentiments to create a lovely background. And this is lovely. This is the Make-A-Wish Groovi plate.
I do love that
with
Groovi
the
plate.
two kissing bunnies or hares. And then finally, oh no, we've got one more after this. We've got this one from Louise. So Louise has used it to go around the outside, sending you lots of love, sending you lots of love.
Hugs and kisses and get well wishes.
There we go. And then the final one is from Jill Askham as well. And Jill has taken that little border of hearts and popped it all the way around the outside.
Really pretty.
You can see how you've got that lovely mixture of the fonts on there. If I hold it up like that, there we go. You got some Perga glitter on there as well. Really, really beautiful. So for me, these will be, it's got virtually, I would say, a lot of the different occasions on there, because you've got your 6 different occasions, but it's those little words underneath that you can mix and match and use on their own as well.
And it's all on one plate as well, so you're not trying to look through your plates to find which ones you want to use. It's all on one handy plate.
Yeah, and it was Barb's idea to do it landscape, because when Jazz was laying these designs out, she was doing it portrait. So you had like happy birthday, then you had get well soon, etc. And Barb said, when you're working with the parchment, you're leaning over quite a bit if you wanted to go for the one at the top.
Yeah.
So it made more sense to do it in a landscape, because then you're not, it's more comfortable to work with then, isn't it?
Plus, as a crafter, you usually tend to have your matte landscape as well.
That's right, your black mat that comes in the starter kit.
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Definitely. So what are we going to look at during this hour? Because we've got a lovely download, haven't we, Louise?
We have.
There we go. So we'll go to number 1.
There we are. So this is the download. So we're using quite a combination. I think I used 3 of the really nice Tina's all-in-one plates.
The Rosie Doodle all-in-ones. Yeah.
Yes, I used 3 of those plates. Plus, obviously, a bit like how Josie Davison did. It's the background as well with the happy anniversary. So I used the that's it. So I used the happy anniversary, and I've used all of the different fonts. I've just followed it along.
It gives it quite an arty look to the piece.
And then just a few little sentiments in here and here too.
And I'm guessing this sort of like this ribbon effect, because that's all on one layer, isn't it?
It is, yes. So the ribbon effect is just using the panel, and I've just used the hearts, and then above it on the next panel there's like the little dots. But not only are they dots, they're kind of oh, it's underneath, isn't it? They're kind of one dot's bigger than the other, so it's a nice.
Right.
They're not just dots.
Okay.
It's a different decorative dot design to
Big
what
dot,
you
little
would
dot.
normally get from a grid.
Yes.
So which is handy. So yeah, so just using some of Tina's
Rosy Doodles as well.
Yeah.
And then underneath you've got a full list of ingredients that
yeah.
Louise has used to create that. So this download is available. I mean, you don't have to download it. You can leave it on the computer where it is, but you can download and save it to your own computer. You can download it and print it and put it in a folder if you prefer. And it's a lovely reference guide for sort of inspiration.
It is, yes. Yeah, these are really handy to have, aren't they?
Yes, I mean, for example, the happy anniversary that you put in the background, that could say happy birthday, it could say get well soon, it could say Merry Christmas, it could say thank you, it could say congratulations.
And it's a nice, if you have all of these, and it's a good library to have for composition ideas as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way. It is, like it is a library or an encyclopedia, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you've got all sorts of different composition ideas from all of the cards that we've seen before.
Yeah.
So it is a really useful tool to have.
So before we go on to the actual thing, we'll just bring up the details of the Rosy Doodles. This is Tina's Rosy Doodles all-in-one A5 square Groovi plate collection with parchment. Item number 42477. You have a £9.99 saving, which means basically you're getting the A5 parchment for free. So you're paying for 4 of those plates, and Louise is really she's going to do the reverse of what these were designed for, and she's going to take bits and pieces from all of them
and deconstructing
the all-in-ones. Absolutely. Okay, so let's go to the main screen. So where do we get started, lovely Louise?
Okay, so what we're going to do first is this is just one of the panels. So this is the scallop from the panels underneath.
Oh, right, let me zoom in on that.
And I'm going to make it into a box. So I'm making it into a large square instead of a panel.
Right, okay.
So that's what we're going to do first. Then we're going to tackle a little bit of, there's 3 different plates, so they're all kind of going to come in. I'll do the top part and do a little bit of white work, a bit of colour.
And a little bit of gold gel pen, I noticed.
I had a little play beforehand, and I've put a little bit of gold in the centre because it's not on the download. I had a little play.
Hard to see on the download though, isn't it?
It is, yes. So yeah, I've done a little bit of an outline on the circle and then the little bubbles.
Lovely.
So we need our panel plate first.
Okay, and that's being held in the plate mate that comes in the starter kit.
It is indeed. And so I'm just going to use the Groovi sticker tabs, which I've got on my tool caddy.
Tool caddy, yes, we have those on the show as well. If you wanted to stock up on those, item number 31797. Although poor Barb and Dave are still making them, we can't keep them in stock quick enough. As soon as they come in, oh, we've got more orders. Bob said, but I've made all this many so far. I said, well,
they're
people
popular.
keep buying them.
I know. I need to buy some more, actually. Okay, so I'm going to come in. I'm going to do the top line and then a little bit further down as well.
Right, okay.
And then come in with my number 1 to crisp up the line. So what we're doing is these are going to be our guides to know to line up the actual box.
Right, okay.
So
I think you like the scallop ones, didn't you? Because we were using the scallop in the first hour.
I know. We'll find, I've used a lot of my designs seem to always have.
You like the nested scallop plates, though, don't you?
I do, yeah. And I've had to try and get away from the scallops plus the semicircle tool as well. That was one of my favourites because I used to like doing the little shell like technique in the scallop. So yeah, so just going through
So if you've got the nested scallop square plate already, you could do that frame using that, couldn't you?
You could do. The only thing I will say is that this one is smaller
smaller scallop?
Yes,
I did think that.
Smaller scallops to the actual scallop plate, which is handy really, because then it means you're not just getting
then, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just getting the one scallop fits all.
One scallop fits all.
One scallop fits all.
I see what you're doing now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Let me come in on there.
So as long as you can see that the line here and here match up,
yeah,
the square in general, well, let me take off my Groovi sticker tabs and put them on the next side. So I'm just going to line it up again.
So it's important just to take your time, just to, because it is that line, isn't it?
It is the line that needs
the right angle.
And then you can stick it. So what I'll do is I'll just do the square. I won't do the scallop because obviously
that would take a little bit of time, wouldn't it?
And we've got other techniques to show.
Yeah, because you're also using the Pergamano flower tool in this one, aren't you?
I am, yes. A little bit of a change. So we're just going to line up the next corner and stick.
And obviously if you're doing this at home, you've got nobody watching you whilst you're doing this, so there's no pressure.
Yeah, it's just showing the idea.
Now I wonder whether you took, I reckon there will either be the nested square or the nested Pico square. I reckon there might be a square exactly that same size, so that if you were worried about going a little bit skew with, you could trace out a square, couldn't you, with one of those plates, and then just use the scallop design to go round.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just showing that if you wanted to,
it's a versatility, isn't it?
It is,
definitely.
yes. So, and the width of some of these panels as well, they're slightly different
because of the design going around the outside.
Exactly, yeah. So you do have a slightly different size box all the way along.
Yes.
Not just the one. So yes, so then I would do the scallop all the way around, but that's the box joined up.
Yeah, looks good to me. It looks nice and square.
Well, hey.
Doesn't look circular, which is a good thing.
That's always a good thing. So then what I have done is...
So this is where the rosy doodles come into play.
Yeah, I think it's upside down, isn't it?
You like upside down, don't you?
Yeah, I do like it. Good fun.
So everything is on the show page. Everything is available individually as well. So if you just want to get 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plates, it's entirely up to you.
Okay. I'm just going to stick it down. We're just going to use our box in the middle.
Okay. One of the things that I really like about the Tina Cox all-in-one plates, this is the second collection. This is the Rosy Doodle collection. It started with the floral swirls and corners. Is that you've got beautiful artwork designed by Tina that you can replicate with ease.
Yes.
Because when Tina created the original cards, she was combining it with a number of different plates and taking a bit from here and a bit from there. And you've got to have the right, I think, the right headspace to be able to do that. Some people do, some people don't. Depends what day of the week it is, really, and how warm it is.
Yeah.
Whether my head works or not.
And your mood.
And your mood, absolutely.
Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm just using the heart panel to create the little border right in the middle.
Oh, right, okay.
And so we're using the hearts, and then I used the dotty detail, and then I did the straight line.
Oh, so you combine using 2 different panels?
Yes.
Aha.
So just using the, just like that. Creating a nice little heart detail.
Dinky little hearts, aren't they?
They are dinky little hearts. Do like a nice little heart on a project.
We like some pinks and blues and purples.
We do. What are you talking about? My card is yellow with a hint of pink, purple and blue.
Oh, goodness me.
The main element of the card is yellow.
I think we'll have a vote on this. And I think I know who will win. But it's not a case of winning, but I think I know what the most popular response will be. Let's put it that way.
I'm branching out in colours.
One strip at a time.
One strip at a time.
See, I like this idea of combining the 2 borders together to create a new border.
Exactly, yes.
I wouldn't have thought about that at all. But it's there for you, isn't it? So
it is. It's all there for you. So it's you could use that with anything, really. You've got the scallop and the circles. Then you've got the circles and the lines.
yeah, isn't that weird? Because when we look at the plate itself, we see panels.
Yes.
But now, because you've introduced that square, all I can see now are borders.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's hidden, well, it's joined up the panels, isn't it, by doing that square?
Yeah, so now it just seems like, what was that border that you used to get was it in the 90s or something, where you used to have, in your room, you used to have a border.
A dado row.
Yeah, with a... Yeah, it was a bit like that halfway in.
I don't know whether the wallpaper ones were called that, but yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it? It separated 2 different wallpapers.
And usually 2 different colours of the
colours
wall.
or styles, or if you had a plain wall, you would put one round the middle.
To give it some interest.
Jane will tell us what it was called. I know a dado row traditionally is the wooden piece.
Groovi.
I'm not sure about the wallpaper ones, whether they were still classed as dado
paper.
Yeah, and whether a dado row because I think traditionally, I'm probably talking a load of rubbish. Dado rows used to be sort of like 3/4 up the wall, didn't they? And it was more so you had like a little space around the top of the room.
Yeah.
I think Jane will correct me and let me know, enlighten me. That's it, us. Whether I'm just talking a load of rubbish, which I probably am, but
no, you're not.
It's all interesting. Has been known.
So yeah, so for example, just to change it up a little bit, I know it's not on the finished piece, but you could make the border at the bottom larger.
Yeah, and use that pattern.
And include the really lovely little grid design.
And for that, you're using the number, because these are tiny, tiny little
these are
dots,
tiny
aren't they?
dots, yeah. So I'm using the number 1.
I'm going to super zoom on this. You may need to readjust your positioning if I super zoom. I don't know. Look at that.
I know.
And now I can see the row above the hearts with the different. I can see the different size dots now.
Yeah, they've there's one bigger, one small, and all along, isn't it? So you probably really need the number 1 to get into the smaller ones.
Yeah, and we're obviously magnifying this in really close. Okay, so a dado row is usually a piece of wood that is profiled. Okay, there we go. And Jane is still typing. Look at the detail on that. Is crazy.
I know. And like we were saying this morning, this is a really nice little grid design, isn't it?
Yeah. It's mad how Jazz can work her magic on this, because it was Jazz's idea regarding the she chose the different fonts when we brought them out in stamps, and then obviously we can adapt them slightly, and because sometimes there are certain things that work better in Groovi than they do in stamps and vice versa.
Yeah.
All
the fonts are really nice though, because you've got one that looks slightly Art Deco.
Yeah.
And then you've got one that's nice and elegant script, and they're all just. And then if you just want just a plainer one, you've got the one at the first couple at the top. They're just handy for all sorts of different.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you are. So that's let me just turn it over.
See, for me, this is like the magic of what Tina would do, sort of like the layers as well, isn't it? The illusion of layers.
The illusion of layers. So on one layer, the illusion of layers.
Yeah, absolutely. One piece of parchment.
So there we are. Here's one I made earlier.
And so this is taken the centerpiece of one of the rosy doodles in the middle.
I've used the hello plate, and I've used
rosy doodles.
The little middle part there.
That's nice. So that's that traced out.
So that's that part.
Okay.
So now I'm going to bring in a lovely big plate.
Aha.
The handy one. Very handy.
Let's zoom out on it. So now you can really see the benefits of it being in landscape mode, can't you?
You can, yes. So just trying to when you kind of where they are, but you're just like, where's the Groovi?
They're still on the plate, mate, aren't they? Or on the other bit of parchment, probably.
Yeah,
look, they're on that bit of parchment up there. Definitely worthwhile stocking up on your Groovi tabs for this one. Groovi tabs, item number 40437, pack of 16 of those.
It's because they keep on running off. I find them everywhere.
So you really can choose any of the 6 different occasions, couldn't you? This background, like that piece we were looking at from Josie.
Josie, yeah, she's used the happy anniversary as well, but it works for all of them. Congratulations, happy birthday, and it makes a really nice background.
Yeah.
It's just trying to find ways of making something as versatile as you can. And that's really good about the design team, is that you give them some panels and some sentiments, and they come out with all of these amazing ideas.
And as you say, I mean, often with like a sentiment, you think, oh, it's a sentiment, that's all I can really do with it. But it isn't, is it? Because as you're showing now, you can do lots of different things with it.
Yeah, just make it into a background now.
Okay, so Jane says the wallpaper borders could be used instead, and you normally had 2 papers with the paper border between them. There we go.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane.
Nice having an encyclopedia at the Google expert at the end of the telephone. So you're using the various different fonts, aren't you?
I am, yes. I just using them all as they come, and you can move them slightly to how you'd like them to be. So for example, I decided on this one I'd have all of the H's right on the edge, whereas beforehand I've just used it as it's come, and I've just laid the parchment on top of the plate and just copied what I saw. Just
sort of like randomly.
In the box. Okay, so once you've completed that,
yes,
we can go on to one I made earlier. There we go. Move that one out of the way. Okay, so now what I thought I'd show is, let's bring in actually no. I'm gonna keep this one here, seeing as it's right here.
Okay.
And in the centre, to my best friend and soulmate, I'm gonna just put the sentiment right in there.
Oh, right. Okay, so you've used the main occasion
Yes.
to decorate the top, and then now the bottom, you're just going to focus on one of the sub sentiments, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'll bring in my Groovi tab again. And they really are useful. I like the script on this as well.
Yeah, I think it's Jazz. I think kept the script the same as it was on the stamps as well. So if you're into your stamping as well as your parching, you can then cross-reference those, couldn't you? So you could maybe stamp on the inside of the card with the corresponding sub-sentiment,
Yeah,
if you've got the stamps already.
Yeah, definitely.
I think sometimes we often forget about the centre of the card, don't we?
We do, yes. I mean, when I first started, it was a big thing to have like the little wrap inside, and you'd print off or you'd stamp on a little bit of paper and have it as a little wrap inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's because you see it on a lot of cards in like different.
Makes the cards more expensive, doesn't it? If you've got a luxury insert on the inside.
It does, yes. And it just really finishes off a card really well. Just almost there. I don't know if anybody finds it, but sometimes when I'm writing back to front, I tend to write the right way along. For me, it makes more sense
to go left to right.
So I've been trying to do right to left, but this flows better for me.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't matter, does it? Because the spelling is all correct, so it doesn't matter whether you do it
just how
left to right, upside down, but not back to front.
Back to front.
Yeah, because it is back to front already, isn't it?
Yeah. Then I put soulmate in the little border. I'm going to go the way that I would go at home.
So whilst you're just doing that, Louise, I thought I'd show some artwork on the other camera.
Yes. Good idea.
Of the Rosie Doodle collection. So let me just bring the details up on the screen. This is the plates that Louise has taken various different elements from. So item number 42477. You've got the complete collection. So this is the Hello plate, available individually 42472. And I'm going to come over this way a little bit. There we go. So that's the plate, exactly how it comes. This is where the artwork, the inspiration, this is Tina's actual piece of artwork. And that was made using various different Rosie Doodles and floral doodle plates. Then we've got another piece of lovely artwork here, different colorways. This one here is using the same plate, but combining elements of it, some lovely grid work in the background. Then we move on to the Just a Note plate, item number 42471. Again, all available individually. Tina's original piece of artwork there. And then some artwork from the designer. I love the monochromatic look on this particular piece.
Yeah, that's beautiful, that is.
Then, interesting. I reckon this is a Glynis. Let me have a look. Oh, it's a Jill Askham. This is using, I'm going to bring it up to the camera maybe so we can see. This is using that die that we were looking at. Well, it's using the Groovi plate because obviously Jill's done some fancy lace work around the outside. But we had this on the show as well. I'll bring the details up on this in a moment. But yeah, that's lovely. That's using the Groovi plate. Then this one here, some lovely sort of grid work at the bottom. Then we've got Thinking of You, item number 42474. That's the original piece of artwork from Tina. Then we've got Hello. This is the one that Louise has just used, that little element just in the middle. And then we have the Happy Birthday, 42473. So there is the original artwork. So we changed the sentiment on it because we already had a thank you in the first collection. Then we've got a lovely piece of artwork here. I know, a lovely piece of artwork, lovely piece. It's all lovely, really doesn't do it justice, that word. Then we've got this one. Ah, interesting. This is using the lace dies, lace frames around the outside. And these will be in the die sale. That will be £3 for that set of die.
And it really does make everything pop.
It really does, doesn't it? So it shows, and I know for a fact, cutting this particular design out in parchment is beautiful because it gives it a real lacy effect.
Yes.
And then one more piece of artwork, and we've got that one just there. So that's the details on the screen for that collection from Tina. Tina's Rosy Doodle all-in-one A5 square Groovi plate collection and parchment. Then we bring the details up of the tag die that Louise was looking at earlier. So the plate on its own is £13.75. The die is £3, which is the £16.75. And so you've got a £16.23 saving. The item number on that is 20100. And if you want to see what Louise did with that earlier, then you can go back and watch the 10 a.m. show. So I reckon we'll go back to Louise now on the overhead. There we go.
So after I've done a little bit of a border from one of the Tina's plates, I think I used the Hello plate for that.
Yeah.
This little bit here.
Okay.
Obviously the Hello part's there. And then same, I've just used one of the elements here. And then the flower on the side is using the Thinking of You, and I've just used one of the different sizes there. So I've done some white work.
Yeah.
In the space of 2 minutes. Super
duper.
Just so we can focus on a little bit of colouring, and then I can show you the gold pen.
Because it always runs out of time, does it?
We do.
So, okay, so let's ask our friends at home. Okay. Is this a yellow card? I'm going to come in close.
With a hint of pink, purple and blue.
Is it a yellow card with a hint of pink, purple and blue, as Louise suggests? Or is it a pink, purple and blue card with a hint of yellow?
And we're not going to know now because we don't have the chat on.
No, I'm sure Jane can keep track. Well, I don't need to keep track. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to use the pergoliners.
Yeah.
And we're going to create the
hint of yellow on the back?
No. The hint of pink, purple and blue.
So Louise is using the B pencils for this. This is the pergoliner pencils, and she's paying careful attention on applying the colour with the sides of the pencil.
So I've included the colour into the scallop as well, as I have in the card. But if you didn't want it in the scallop, then you can always, when you've used your dorso oil, you can always use your white eraser pencil and rub out the scallop.
Yeah.
So you wanted to just, you know, do the little eggshell effect in the can.
So skillful, this technique, isn't it?
We're having great fun.
Jane has said that the A4 occasions plate is like a one-stop shop for sentiments. That's a lovely way of putting it, isn't it?
Really right.
A one-stop shop for sentiments.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so just using my dorso.
Just some dorso on a spot-on sponge, which comes in the Colouring Essentials kit.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the side of the blending nib. So I'm not using the tip, I'm just using the side.
So it gives you bigger coverage, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Yeah. And it makes the nib last longer as well.
It certainly does. All for using in this amount. I mean, sometimes my nibs at home, when they get really fluffy on the ends, because I've used them so many times, I then use those for larger areas.
Right, okay. And I would have thought, see, for a large area, I was always shown that you would use a tissue.
Yes.
To do a large area. But from my experience, sometimes with the tissue, it can take the colour off.
It can, yes.
Whereas with this, using the side of the blending pen, it seems to help the colour stay on the parchment, which is where you want it to stay, really. I like this idea. I would never have thought about using the side of the blending pen to do larger areas.
No, which it's a useful technique. And sometimes, say for example, you don't have a tissue on hand, which I do, but I thought I'd show you this technique because sometimes, and don't forget, if you go over it doesn't matter because you can use your eraser pencil.
Yeah.
But then you could use the tip of the nib to really get into the
edge.
To the edge. So
I like that idea.
Yeah, it's very useful tip to know that you can use these blending nibs for multiple uses.
Yeah, I mean, I've often seen Barb use it the reverse, like the other end of it, because it's a lot firmer.
It is.
For a little bit more detail. And did you see the other day when Barb, what day was it? It was Monday, the blending pen to find the edge of the embedder on your back of your card.
Oh yes, that was
a real game changer.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, that was really good. See, certain things do kind of tie in between stamping and parchment.
Yeah.
You can either way. So there we go. So
I wonder if we put just see that underneath. There we go. Look at that. You can definitely see the colour on that.
Yeah. So there's my hint of yellow.
Yeah, hint of
It hasn't turned up yet. But yeah, so you can really go in and just smoosh all the colours together.
Smoosh. I like that word. Smoosh.
Smoosh the colours together. So you can be more careful at home. But that is the general idea. But yeah, just using the side of the blending nib.
Top tip. And if you want to stock up on your blending pens, then the blending pen is 70440, 1049 plus cup discounts. But you can also get refills, obviously, of the nibs as well. So just put blending nibs in on the website and you can buy them in packs of 10 or packs of 50.
Excellent. So then I'm using the same at the bottom. I should have done the bottom because I wanted to show you that you can use you can do your background, but then it doesn't matter. Straight after, you can kind of use so for example here I've used Perga colours.
Oh, the pens on top.
Yeah, it doesn't disrupt the colour as much.
And I suppose also on the words at the top, there's a couple sort of like the full font down is like an open font, isn't it?
Yes.
So you could also do the colour on that one, couldn't you, as well, to make that one stand out if you've used it?
Yes.
So, for example, there you've got like your happy birthday. This is the reverse of it here.
Yeah.
Or happy anniversary. So you could colour that on the inside, on the back with your pens, and make a focal point when you turn it over.
Yeah, because that's actually something I was going to show you actually.
Was you?
Yeah. I did it a little bit beforehand. I used the Perga colours.
Yeah.
The fine nib.
This wasn't rehearsed, I promise. No. It wasn't.
So yeah, so we know how to do the Perga liners. But yeah, so going on to this slightly, let's say for example using a purple. Now the good thing about the Perga colours is you've got two ends.
You have.
So you've got the the fatter end, and then you've got the really fine nib.
Yeah.
So you can either use it on the back. So let's get in over here.
Because I imagine, especially that font that's being used there, would be quite difficult to remove the colour, even with an eraser pencil. So for it to go on top, yeah, we can really see that coming through.
But then the really good thing is you can use the fine nib. And if I'm really careful.
Oh, I'm not looking. Can I breathe now?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that. I can.
So you can use it on the front with your very, very fine nib.
Wow. Can we come super zoom on that? Let's have a look. And then we'll come over.
There we go.
Wow.
So and then it does make the colour more vibrant on obviously on the front.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So that's you using the little, not that one, the other one.
The fine nib.
Yeah. The really fine nib. So they have a lot of uses.
So the Mono Perga Colour Pens, item number 70060.
Okay. So now, what I thought I'd do is I'll show you the flower tool.
Okay.
We've got time, haven't we?
Of course we have,
We've got
Louise.
loads of time. Everybody's outside sunning themselves anyway. With their phones in
Have mobile
hand.
will travel. I think that's the way that it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon everybody's outside in the garden with their phones.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the flower tool. I'm going to use my Groovi guard so that it's the same. There you go. So I'm just over the line there. So
it's coming on that side camera. Hang on a minute, Lee. I just need to reposition where you are. I think you need to come towards me. Towards you, towards me.
To me, to you.
There we go.
There.
That's it.
Excellent. Okay, so we're using the Groovi guard as a ruler. Get warm in here now, isn't it?
It's very warm in here. I think a cold bucket of water is required.
There we go. So then, when we've done that part...
Let's have a look on the overhead.
Oh, sorry. Where are we? We're over here now.
So what does that look like from the front where we've done the perforation? Okay, so that's using the flower tool, which we have on the show. And
that's I just used it on the Pico foam.
Yeah.
So now what I can do is use my
We're going to super zoom on this one, do you reckon?
Super zoom, yeah. So I'm using the number 2 end with the Groovi tool. And I'm just creating a little circle. Now, with this, the good thing about this is on the front, when you turn it over, it will look a bit smooshed.
Oh, the central middle perforation.
Yes. But then you can come in with your one needle, fine or bold, and unsmoosh it.
Unsmoosh it.
Unsmoosh it.
I see. So it reinstates it, doesn't it?
It does, yes. So then if I bring in the Pico foam again and turn this over, you'll see getting stuck. Okay.
Have you got a Groovi tab stuck somewhere?
No, I think it was
it's the low-tech tape on the table.
There you go. So then we can reinstate the little dot. The before and after.
There we go. Yeah, look at that. You can definitely see.
You don't need to go in too deep because I'm using one needle bold here. Maybe going down in a tiny, tiny little bit. So yeah, so that gives a nice little border detail.
Yeah. I like that.
So now I think we can go on to the gold gel pen now.
Okay, so let me bring details up on the screen while Louise is getting these bits and pieces ready. So we have a set of 7 Pergamano metallic gel pens. Item number 70449. Normally £15.75. You have a £3 saving, which brings it down to £12.75. You've got a lovely pink, lilac or purple, blue, green, gold, silver, and sort of like a bronze copper type of effect. And what Louise is going to show us in a moment, you could do this in any of those 7 colours.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to there. Okay.
Lovely. So with the gold gel pen,
Yeah.
I am using it over the embossed look. So it kind of gives you a look of it. It's like gold embossed, you know.
Right, as
it
in
looks like
stamping
embossing
gold in
powder. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So it gives you that raised effect. So let's do it with the flower center down here first. So this is I've already used the white work on here. So it really gives that illusion.
I might be a super zoom on this one.
Almost like a gold
like a little
paint
brad.
blob. Yeah, or brad.
What did you
paint
say?
blob.
Paint blob. Yes.
Yeah, you know, like that.
The dotting
that technique.
Yeah.
Yes, with the...
I can't think what it's called. What Linda Williams calls it. Dibbing, dabbing, dobbing.
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 It could be dobbing.
Or dabbing, I don't know. But yeah, I've seen Linda do it with the pearlescent acrylic paint.
Yes. Okay, so that's the on the raised look, and then as long as you're very careful about, I mean, I'm using it ever so finely.
So you're not applying pressure.
I'm hardly.
Are you tickling it?
I'm not even tickling it.
You're not even tickling it.
It's giving the mere suggestion of. Oh,
it's because we're coming super close on this that our friends at home can see.
You can either use, and that looks quite nice just to, well, you can't see on the camera.
Okay.
If I...
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah, so you could use it just as an outline, or you can use it on here as a... There you go. So
wow.
The whole centre there. So you could also use it, I've used it on the centre as well. So the raised hello. So you can use it also if you're struggling using any kind of gel pen. Sometimes using it on the soft mat sometimes helps as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just gives that extra little bit. I mean, this gel pen's really good, so you don't need to do it. But sometimes when a gel pen appears a little bit scratchy, like any kind of gel pen, then using something soft underneath helps the paint flow out easier.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, I like these gel pens because they look it's an easier,
I suppose, yes,
easier way rather than the I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really beautiful, the gold ink. Yeah, the gold ink on the front using the mapping pen, it's really nice. But if you haven't got a certain gold ink or anything, then using the gold gel pen or any of the other pens. Okay.
Look at that.
And it's so you can see it's raised here, but you can't see that.
Yeah, so see, again, it goes back to different things, doesn't it? Because I think the beauty of having Louise on board is because she's got so much knowledge to share with everyone. And that's, I think, why the 123 courses have proved really, really popular, is because Louise is she's had the time, she's spent time with Linda Williams, with Tina Cox, with a lot of other parters, and gaining all that knowledge. And because she's had the time to do that, and then go and play and go, oh, I wonder what this was, because you have got that mindset, haven't you, that I wonder what will happen if I wonder what will happen if. And it's great because for me, where I'm sort of like, I've been doing the shows and I can do the techniques, but I've never really had the opportunity to try and explore what if I did this, what if I did that. I've always steered away from using the gel pen on letters on the front because I thought I've got to apply the pressure, it's going to squidge, I'm not going to have a steady hand. So I've used the gel pens to trace out grooves, so you're working on the reverse to get that look. But now for me, that look of that gold now on the front of that card, as you say, a mapping pen. And then you've got to have a special type of ink. The metallic gel pens, you've got 7 different colors in this collection. You've got the pink, the purple, the blue, the green, the gold, the silver, and the copper. Now, all of a sudden, that is, and it literally is, it is tickling, isn't it?
I'm hardly putting any pressure on at all, really.
And also that top tip of, if you find that it doesn't work well, try the soft matte. Again, I would automatically think it's a pen, it's got a ball bearing in it, I've got to get the ball bearing going. Sometimes the gel pens can seize up, they really can, because obviously how you stored them, the temperature of the room. I mean, if these are stored in here, it would dry up very quickly, wouldn't it? Sort of thing, on the nibs. And there are different ways of getting them going again. And it was sort of like, I remember gel pens back in the day, you had to rub them between your hands, you had to breathe on the end to get them going. You'd have to scribble on a piece of sandpaper just to react to it. Because often what can happen when you've got ball bearings in the tip of the pen, because it is a ball pen, and what can happen is if they're not used for a time, the ink can dry around the ball bearing, the nib, can't it? And then it, obviously it's got no effect. You can tap them gently. I wouldn't say whack them on the top with the nib, but there's various different ways of freeing up if you've got, if it is sticky and scratchy. Another one was into hot water, because that was sort of like melt away anything. But for that, it's just I need to go back to it, because it is what a difference that makes. Look at that,
nice and bright.
And
it is a really lovely gold pen. You know, sometimes this is a really nice gold.
There's gold and there's gold, isn't there?
You can sometimes get this really dull gold, dark colour from different gel pens, but this has really got
and
a nice bright.
And again, it can get a brassy sort of gold. But for me, I mean, we are in really, really close on that, so you can see at home. But yeah, look at that. Goodness me. And a very steady hand as well. I can't believe where the time's gone.
I know.
It's the end of the week as well.
It goes so quick, doesn't it?
It does.
An hour goes, it's almost like you come into the studio and it's like a time warp, and all of a sudden you sit down and all of a sudden it's
But you know what, I think that is the beauty of crafting, isn't it? We can often lose ourselves, and many friends do it for that purpose, just to ignore what's going on. I mean, there could be anything. We've got the windows open, so we know there's no fires out there, because we hear the fire.
So there could be an earthquake outside, and me and Paul just like,
but I think that is the beauty of crafting, to be able to sort of get in the groove, get colouring, get stamping, whatever it is that does it for you, and just to escape. And the same with the shack. I watched the shack back this morning with Barb, and the raku, and
that's amazing.
When Barb was saying what her and Dave were doing in the garden, with the bins and the smoke and the big gloves and the tongs, I can see it exactly. It sounded just like a carry-on film. It really, really did.
Carry on ragu.
Carry on raku. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's
carry
a
on
new thing.
raku.
Yeah. So Jane said, you can also scribble something to the palm of your hand, the pen as well, I suppose, to heat from your hand. So, so yeah, and time does disappear.
It does.
So thank you very much, as always, for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of hang on, before we go, where we're now, we're Friday. Sunday, first Sunday of the month that we said at the beginning of the hour. a real fantastic show coming up on Sunday from 3 till 5 with Barbara and myself. And I think Barbara hinted at some brand new dyes.
Ooh.
I can't remember what she said about the dyes, but I know she has mentioned that we've got a trio of dyes coming on Sunday with 2 brand new A5 stamp sets that are
nice.
crazy. So that is on Sunday from 3 till 5. And then Bank Holiday Monday, so there's no Shack or 2 o'clock show on Monday. Louise will be back with you at 10 o'clock on Monday for another episode of Groovi Tuesday. And then we're revisiting some plates on Tuesday afternoon.
We are, yes.
Which ones?
The I can't remember what.
I can't remember.
I know what they are, but
you'll have to tune in on Tuesday to find out.
we'll as soon as we go on live, we'll
that's what it is. Yeah. So thank you as always to lovely Jane for helping out. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, and hopefully we'll see you on Sunday for the 3 till 5 show. And don't forget that Fresh Cut Bank Holiday weekend sale with the Fresh Cut dyes at £3. There is no further club discounts, but at £3, I mean, it's a crazy price, isn't it?
It's a crazy price.
So maybe you missed out, you run out of time, budget didn't allow the time when we first did it, then maybe you want to sort of have a look over the weekend. Once some of them have gone, they've gone, because obviously we have to order in large quantities to get them back into stock. So some of them may be out of stock for a while. And I mean, at £3.
I know.
Madness. But we won't tell Barb. No, Barb already knows. So, yeah, I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you as always, lovely Louise.
And
I look forward to seeing you on Sunday at 3 o'clock with Barb. Yeah. Take care now.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Where's that button gone? There it is.